It's Tuesday, February 28th, and this is your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with the latest local news, including more details on the ski accident that killed a New Canaan man, a drug arrest in Danbury yielding a large amount of marijuana edibles, and a lot more. Frank Granito has a look at your forecast and a Nutmeg Sports update, and later on, Donald Eng joins us to take a look back on this day in history. But first, Michael North, the 43-year-old New Canaan man who died last Thursday while snowboarding at North Star, California resort, likely died after falling into a tree well. According to the Sierra Sun newspaper, conditions that day were dangerous as the resort had received 11 inches of snow the previous night, making for a 7-day snowfall total of 94 inches. David Jasper, who was skiing at the resort that day and found North, told the Sun that it had been years since California has had deep snow like this season, and last Thursday's incident serves as a poignant reminder: don't ski or board alone. He said the deep natural snow means deep wells around every tree, and falling head down into a tree well can quickly result in a tragic outcome. It has not been confirmed that North was in fact snowboarding alone. Jasper said they found him on his back in a tree well unconscious, but 3 of them managed to pull him out. Jasper went on to say, for almost a decade we've seen moderate snowfall, so I think most of us have forgotten about the risks of heavy snow. He said this served as a powerful reminder. And in other news, a stop for speeding Monday morning led to an arrest for possession of a large amount of marijuana edibles, including THC cookies and lollipops. The stop happened on I-84 eastbound in Danbury prior to exit 5 around 10:15 in the morning. State police say a vehicle was traveling at a high rate of speed, about 86 miles per hour in a 55 mile per hour zone. After stopping that car, police say the driver had a suspended Pennsylvania driver's license, and troopers suspected that there were illegal narcotics inside. Troopers, with the help of Canine Favor, searched that vehicle and seized 406 grams of THC lollipops, 22 grams of THC rock candy, 300 grams of THC cookies, as well as 94 grams of THC wax and 13 grams of actual marijuana. Now, the vehicle passenger, 26-year-old Danielle Keith of Maine, claimed ownership of the narcotics and was taken into custody. The vehicle operator was charged with several motor vehicle violations, but police did not release that person's name. And Wilton police are looking into a possible connection between a bank robbery February 24th at the Fairfield County Bank on Danbury Road and an attempted robbery a few days earlier at the People's Bank in Fairfield. The attempt in Fairfield involved a man with a similar type mask and a similar vehicle, according to Lieutenant Robert Cipolla. Cipolla said, "We've also notified the FBI." Wilton police released photos of the suspect who robbed that Fairfield County Bank in Georgetown. According to Cipolla, a white man entered the Danbury Road Bank at around 2:58 and demanded cash. There was no weapon visible or threatened, and the suspect left the bank with an undisclosed amount of cash. Police are asking for the public's assistance in attempting to identify the suspect, who's between 5 feet 8 inches tall and 5 feet 10 inches tall. They said the suspect was driving a green 1997 Honda Accord. You can find out more at wiltonbulletin.com. And in other news, 2 state troopers who are under investigation for a Wethersfield assault incident were arrested on Tuesday. WTNH reports that Wethersfield police confirmed that Xavier Cruz from Troop K in Colchester and Rupert Laird from Troop C in Tolland turned themselves in and will face a judge in New Britain today at 2. State police say the troopers have both been reassigned to non-police duties pending the outcome of those investigations. State police said in a statement that the Wethersfield Police Department is conducting a criminal investigation of 2 off-duty Connecticut state troopers, but they didn't release any further details. And Darien police are investigating a strange pair of burglaries at an Avalon apartment. On February 23rd, a 50-year-old resident of the apartment complex returned home to find that his door had been deadbolted from the inside. He told police that this was the second time he had found his door bolted from within. The same thing had occurred the week before. After contacting Avalon staff, it was determined that the sliding patio door in the rear of that apartment had been left unlocked both times. The tenant told the authorities that he had not used the patio door to exit and that it should have been locked. Furthermore, the television inside the apartment had been left on, and the resident told police he was sure it was off when he left for work that morning. Nothing was reported missing from the apartment, and there were no signs of forced entry. The complex uses a key fob system rather than traditional locks, and the victim lives alone. Police are working with Avalon staff to determine how someone may have gained access to that apartment. And a 22-year-old Pound Ridge, New York man, Matthew Blasco, was charged with third-degree larceny and third-degree burglary on February 25th after he turned himself into New Canaan police on charges of stealing a shotgun. The incident in question dated back to November 5th, 2016, when New Canaan police were dispatched to a residence on Father Peter's Lane on a report of a stolen shotgun valued at over $7,000 from a barn on that property. A subsequent investigation resulted in an arrest warrant being issued for Blasco. He posted a $10,000 bond and is scheduled to appear in court on March 10th. But let's switch gears now. Throw it over to Frank Granito for a look at the forecast. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. Some early morning clouds break for afternoon sunshine around the county today with an expected high of 58 degrees. There is a chance of a shower or two in the early evening before we'll see fog overnight and on and off periods of rain carrying into Wednesday morning. Foggy tomorrow morning before intervals of sun and clouds throughout the day. Warm and muggy out as temperatures reach up into the high 60s. There'll be wind gusts around 25 miles per hour in the afternoon before chances of thunderstorms and cloudy skies in the evening and overnight. Thursday looks to be a bit cooler in Fairfield County with partly sunny skies and temperatures in the mid-40s. Windy on Thursday with steady breezes of 20 miles per hour and gusts reaching upwards of 35 to 40. Clear skies overnight and colder heading towards the weekend with a low of 22 before Friday morning. That's going to do it for the weather. Let's go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. We're going to step out for a break, and when we come back, Donald Eng takes a look back on this day in history. Frank has your Nutmeg Sports update, and we have more local news after this.
On time, done right, safe and reliable. MrHandymanCT.com.
Let our satisfied customers tell it.
I have called Mr. Handyman for every reason, every occasion, every broken item, every leak. They have bailed me out on many occasions, and I would recommend them to anyone.
For any project, large or small.
MrHandymanCT.com.
Have a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Basketball, hockey, skiing, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
Well, there's still a bite out on the water. Most anglers have decided to stow the gear for the winter. Just because Mother Nature isn't cooperating doesn't mean you can't see the latest models of all your favorite gear. With 2 convenient locations, it couldn't be easier to get your fix of summer. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
At InSports Trumbull, the game is always on inside. Recently renovated and home to one of Connecticut's largest indoor turf fields, InSports is a multi-sport recreation center providing state-of-the-art facilities for league play, camps, and youth programs. Sign your child up now for InSports Future Stars Basketball Academy, teaching skills on the basketball court for boys and girls ages 5 through 9. Visit InSportsCenters.com for more information on this 7-week program. And for adults, spots are also still available for our men's 30 and over and 40 and over leagues. Like and follow us on Facebook.
Want a new experience in car buying? Skep Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram with one of the largest inventories of new 2- and 4-door Wranglers. We are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Browse our websites, skepchryslerjeep.com or skepdodge.net to find the new Jeep, Chrysler Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck you've been looking for. Just 2 miles from both I-95 or the Merritt Parkway exit 44. Save thousands at the President's Day event and Ram Truck Month, now through February 28th.
I'm Frank Granito.
And I'm Donald Eng for the HAN Network.
Tune in to Nutmeg Sports Monday through Thursday, where we bring you all the top stories from Connecticut sports.
From highlights to player interviews and expert analysis, no one gets you closer to Connecticut's games than Nutmeg Sports.
Nutmeg Sports, now Monday through Thursday at 2 p.m. on the HAN Network.
Welcome back to this February 28th edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski. It's time to throw it over to Donald Lang to take a look back on this day in history. Don.
Well, Kate, if you've ever played the board game Monopoly, you know of the B&O Railroad, and it was founded on this day in 1827. The Baltimore and Ohio Railroad Incorporated, the first in America that offers commercial transportation for people and freight. So if you ever wondered what B&O stood for, it's Baltimore and Ohio. Still exists, by the way, as part of the CSX rail network. To 1849, speaking of transportation, steamboat service from the west to east coast of the United States begins with the arrival of the SS California in San Francisco Bay with 210 passengers. The crew, by the way, immediately deserted to go gold prospecting. The trip took 4 months, 22 days, and economy passengers who made the trip in profound discomfort paid the equivalent of $4,200 for a ticket. First class was about double that. 1885, the American Telephone and Telegraph Company is incorporated in New York as the long-distance subsidiary of American Bell Telephone, allowing people in New York a chance to talk to someone in St. Louis after only 5 minutes of operator connections and transfers. AT&T would later merge with its parent company and then be broken up into 7 smaller companies. It got pretty complicated there, but it started simply enough in 1885. Finally, now we go to 1991 for this.
For the Americans all together. Now let's go to the White House and President George Bush addressing the nation tonight on what
Iraq's army is defeated. Our military objectives are met. Kuwait is once more in the hands of Kuwaitis in control of their own destiny. We share in their joy, a joy tempered only by our compassion for their ordeal. Tonight, the Kuwaiti flag once again flies above the capital of a free and sovereign nation, and the American flag flies above our embassy.
That was on this date. The Gulf War ends in a decisive victory for the coalition forces, the largest coalition since World War II, by the way. Kuwait liberated, the coalition that advanced into Iraqi territory, but halted before reaching Baghdad. Though criticized for leaving Saddam Hussein in power, President Bush expressed concern at the additional human cost of a drive into Baghdad. Defense Secretary Dick Cheney was more blunt, asking, how many additional American casualties is Saddam worth? The answer is not that damn many. So Dick Cheney, always with a way with words. That is a look back in history for today, February 28th, and I'm Donald Lang.
All right, thanks so much, Don. Well, in other local news, the Darien community is invited to meet its Muslim neighbors at a panel discussion on Tuesday, March 14th at 7 in the Youth and Community Center at St. Luke's Parish at 1864 Post Road in Darien. St. Luke's organizers say that we're living in divisive times where people find themselves unsure of whom to trust. Muslims have been specifically singled out as dangerous and threatening in many cases. Organizers say this has affected how non-Muslim Americans view their fellow Muslim Americans. This panel will attempt to dispel or subvert stereotypical notions of what and who Muslim Americans are. It will give the community an opportunity to have a conversation with their Muslim neighbors who they say are pillars of their immediate communities. All are welcome to the free community event hosted by St. Luke's Parish, and you can get more information at stlukesdarien.org. But let's throw it back over to Frank Granito now for a Nutmeg Sports update. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. And last night in girls hockey, the FCIAC champion Greenwich Cardinals traveled on the road to Simsbury for a quarterfinal matchup against the number 4 seeded Trojans. Picking right up where they left off, the Cardinals cruised to a 4-1 victory thanks again to a stellar performance in net by freshman Jessica Ware. Haley Duffy, the junior, led the way offensively, tallying 3 goals. Duffy now has 7 points in all 3 of the Cardinals' postseason games this winter. On the other side of the bracket, rivals Darien and New Canaan took to the ice for a 3rd time this year at the Darien Ice House. Goalies Emily Giannunzio and Cara Fahey were the stars of the show through the first 30 minutes of play before Sally Cassidy scored the game's first goal just 33 seconds into the first period. Freshman Kit Eriks' goal with 7:30 remaining would make it a 2-0 Darien lead and prove to be the game winner. Gianna Bruno scored for the Rams with 1:30 remaining in the game, but that was the only blemish for Giannunzio between the pipes as she made 15 saves, picking up her 12th career playoff victory. Greenwich now awaits the winner of number 6 East Catholic Glastonbury South Windsor against number 3 West Haven Sacred Heart Academy. Darien will take on either number 8 Fairfield or number 1 Hamden. Those 2 quarterfinal games being played at 6 and 6:30 this afternoon. And don't forget that tonight on the HAN Network, we have the boys basketball FCX semifinals for you. Number 3 Ridgefield, number 7 Danbury tip off at 6 p.m. as the battle for Route 7 heads to the postseason with a spot in the FCX championship on the line. Semifinal number 2 features the top-seeded Trumbull Eagles and the number 5 Wilton Warriors, fresh off that 14-point fourth quarter comeback against Trinity Catholic. These 2 teams required overtime during the regular season. It was Trumbull who came out on top 54-50. We'll see how round 2 goes tonight. That game set for 7:45. We'll have plenty more of that on Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock. We'll also be joined by the Greenwich girls ice hockey coach Alex Lurchin as he talks about the program's first ever conference championship and their upcoming semifinal game in the postseason. That's going to do it for this Nutmeg Sports update. Let's send it back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, in New Canaan, the historic 1889 residential-style building at 51 Main Street, which was formerly the home of the American Red Cross, is under contract to be sold to real estate developer Arnold Karp and his partners. Karp told the New Canaan Advertiser that his group does not know exactly what they will do with the building, but he considers it an important part of the entrance to town within the historic district, and he wants the structure to be preserved. He said he jumped at the opportunity to buy it because he knows, quote, New Canaan sensitivities. He expects the purchase transaction to close within the next month. The house is in a residential zone and the Red Cross was a commercial use. It is on the west side of Main Street where it intersects with Heritage Hill Road. Condominiums might be a possible use, according to Karp. And rotted by salt used as a winter ice melter, 4 period lampposts on Main Street in Ridgefield have been taken down and 7 or 8 others, maybe more, will likely have to be replaced. First Selectman Rudy Marconi said a dozen are coming down and he isn't sure yet where the money will come from to replace those posts. Each of them costs about $5,000. There are about 55 lampposts around the village in Ridgefield, Marconi said, and he thought most of them dated back to the early 1990s, which would make them close to 25 years old. The 4 that have already come down are in the Main Street block between Deborah Ann's Sweet Shop and Newman Real Estate. And in early February, St. Luke's student and Darien resident Jackson Hart won the St. Luke's Middle School National Geography Bee. This is his 4th consecutive year to win the competition at the school. This was in addition to the 2 years he won when a student at Oxridge School. During the St. Luke's Geographic Bee, it was down to 3 students, Zion Prophet of Bridgeport, Justin Higgins of New Canaan, and Jackson. But in the end, Jackson remained the bee champ. After passing an online test, Jackson now advances to the statewide competition on March 31st. The winner from each state will compete at the National Championship in Washington, D.C. later in mid-May. Well, we're going to step out for a break, and when we come back, we're going to recap some of the top stories we're following today on your coffee break after this.
We told Dad he could have his office back if he sold 150 cars last month.
Deal's a deal.
Well, Dad, you did it. You get your office back.
Forget it. I'm having too much fun down here. My new goal, 160 cars. Wow. Folks, if you ever wanted a great price on a new Nissan, now is the time.
Right now, lease a 2017 Altima 2.5S for only $99 a month.
Isn't it time you got Millerized?
It's all about meeting goals this year, and Trinity CrossFit of Ridgefield has experienced trainers, top-of-the-line equipment, and a newly renovated space to help get you there. Offering more classes per day than any other CrossFit gyms in the area, we cater to all fitness levels. Our coaches have a combined 10 years of experience in CrossFit, and as competitors themselves, Trinity coaches can get you ready for competition in 2017. Visit our convenient location on Route 7, Danbury Road, or find out more at trinitycrossfit.com.
Today's coffee break is brought to you by Bridges by Epic Memory Care Assisted Living Communities, featured in HAN's Golden Years publication. Remarkable people and exceptional care are the hallmarks of the Bridges by Epic communities in Trumbull and Norwalk, where teams of licensed memory care professionals specialize in creating meaningful moments of joy for residents and peace of mind for their families. Learn more about Bridges by Epic Memory Care Assisted Living and discover your family's source for dementia care education and support in Trumbull or Norwalk. Visit bridgesbyepic.com. That's bridgesbyepic.com for more information.
Whether you're looking for the freshest seafood, the perfect steak, or want to share delicious appetizers, look no further than the Stone's Throw in Seymour. Chef Peter Hom has more than 30 years of experience creating original recipes in his American eclectic style. Our dishes are made from scratch with fresh, local ingredients that pair perfectly with a seasonal craft beer, a signature cocktail, or your favorite wine. When you visit our Riverside location, you'll feel like you're on vacation when you're only a stone's throw from home. Visit us on Roosevelt Drive in Seymour or at stonesThrowCT.com. At the Milford Bank, we offer an extensive selection of lending products and services to meet virtually any need. Submit your application online in our Mortgage Web Center. Start to finish, you can apply for a loan in as little as 10 minutes. Our knowledgeable and helpful staff are available to meet with you at your convenience. To learn more about what we can do for you, stop by one of our Milford Bank offices or visit us at milfordbank.com. The Milford Bank, always there. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. If you're watching this broadcast, you're not alone. The HAN network is available for 200,000 Connecticut cable customers on the Frontier network, and we've also reached more than 2 million viewers on our free live streaming sports, news, and entertainment broadcasts. To reach our rapidly growing audience, contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Welcome back to this Tuesday edition of your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, recapping some of the top stories we're following today, including Michael North, the 43-year-old New Canaan man who died last Thursday while snowboarding at a North Star, California resort, likely died after falling into a tree well. According to the Sierra Sun newspaper, conditions that day were dangerous as the resort had received 11 inches of snow the previous night, making for a 7-day snowfall total of 94 inches. David Jasper, who was skiing at the resort that day and found North, told The Sun that it had been years since California has had deep snow like this season, and Thursday's incident serves as a poignant reminder: don't ski or board alone. He said the deep natural snow means deep wells around every tree, and falling head down into a tree well can quickly result in a tragic outcome. Now, it has not been confirmed that North was in fact snowboarding alone. Jasper said they found him on his back in a tree well unconscious. It took 3 people to pull him out. You can get additional details on that story at ncadvertiser.com. And in other news, a stop for speeding Monday morning led to an arrest for possession of a large amount of marijuana edibles, including THC cookies and lollipops. The stop happened on I-84 eastbound in Danbury prior to exit 5 around 10:15 in the morning, when state police say they observed a vehicle traveling at a high rate of speed. They say it was going 86 miles per hour in a 55-mile-per-hour zone. After stopping the car, police say the driver had a suspended Pennsylvania driver's license, and troopers suspected that there were narcotics inside the car. Troopers, with the assistance of Canine Favor, searched that vehicle and located and seized 406 grams of THC lollipops, 22 grams of THC rock candy, 300 grams of THC cookies, 94 grams of THC wax, and 13 grams of regular marijuana. The vehicle passenger, 26-year-old Danielle Keith of Maine, claimed ownership of those narcotics and was taken into custody. The vehicle operator was charged with several motor vehicle violations. And Wilton police are looking into a possible connection between a bank robbery February 24th at the Fairfield County Bank on Danbury Road and an attempted robbery a few days earlier at the People's Bank in Fairfield. The attempt in Fairfield involved a man with a similar tight mask and vehicle, according to Wilton Lieutenant Robert Cipolla. Cipolla said they've also notified the FBI, and Wilton police released photos of the suspect who robbed that bank in Georgetown. According to Cipolla, a white man entered the bank around 3 in the afternoon afternoon and demanded cash. There was no weapon visible or threatened, and the suspect left the bank with an undisclosed amount of cash. Police are asking for the public's help in attempting to identify the suspect, who's between 5 feet 8 inches tall and 5 feet 10 inches tall. They said the suspect was driving a green 1997 Honda Accord. You can find out more at wiltonbulletin.com. And 2 state troopers are under investigation for a Wethersfield assault incident, and they were arrested today. WTNH reports that Wethersfield police confirmed that Xavier Cruz from Troop K in Colchester and Rupert Laird from Troop C in Tolland turned themselves in and will face a New Britain judge at 2 p.m. State police say the troopers have both been reassigned to non-police duties pending the outcome of the investigation. State police said in a statement that the Wethersfield Police Department is conducting a criminal investigation of 2 off-duty Connecticut state troopers, but they did not release any further details. And Darien police are investigating a strange pair of burglaries at an Avalon apartment. On February 23rd, a 50-year-old resident of the apartment complex returned home to find that his door had been deadbolted from the inside. He told police this was the second time he had found the door bolted from within. The same thing had occurred the week before. After contacting Avalon staff, it was determined that the sliding patio door in the rear of that apartment had been unlocked both times. The tenant told the authorities that he had not used that patio door to exit and that it should have been locked. Furthermore, the television inside the apartment had been left on, and the resident told police he was sure it was off when he left for work that morning. Nothing, however, was reported missing from the apartment, and there were no signs of forced entry. The complex uses a fob key system rather than traditional locks, and the victim lives alone. Police are working with Avalon staff to determine how someone may have gained access to the apartment. Well, let's switch gears, throw it over to Frank Granito for one final look at the forecast. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. Again, we saw some early morning crowds breaking now for afternoon sunshine, an expected high of 58 degrees today. There is a chance for a shower or two in the early evening before some fog overnight and on and off periods of rain carrying into Wednesday morning. Foggy again tomorrow morning before intervals of sun and clouds throughout the day. Warm and muggy out as temperatures reach up into the high 60s. There'll be wind gusts between 25 and 30 miles per hour and chances of thunderstorms, cloudy skies in the evening and overnight. Thursday looks to be cooler around Fairfield County. Sunny skies, temperatures in the mid-40s. Very windy. We could see gusts as high as 40 miles per hour. Then clear skies overnight and colder with temperatures dropping down into the low 20s.
All right, Frank, and it's Nutmeg Sports coming up at 2 o'clock and boys basketball tonight, semifinals.
That's right. Ridgefield and Danbury at 6 o'clock, and then Trumbull and Wilton 7:45. We'll have plenty more of that at 2 o'clock.
All right, awesome. And we'll see you tomorrow for your coffee break at 11. Have a great day.